What up, guys? So today we're gonna go through a KL-PAR IP compact OPS. Yeah, we're getting really long with these names now. But because it's an OPS fixture and this is the first one I'm doing a video on, I'm gonna explain what the OPS is. I don't actually know what it stands for. I'm sure your sales guys could answer that. But what I do know, it is for a permanent or semi-permanent install, depending on what you consider permanent or semi-permanent. So the first one being is that this light or any of the OPS series has a better marine coat than any other unit that we sell. The reason is because these are meant for cruise ships or maybe outdoor installs next to the ocean. Actually, they're meant for anything. You could put them into a theme park or anything. But if you have the salt water, salt air, salt in the air, it's going to be protected and you won't get any rust on the unit and it won't be an issue for it. The next thing is that this unit comes with bare wires. So you're going to have to use a junction box, make sure no one gets electrocuted. And the same thing with the DMX. And then the next thing is that this unit has no display. So you're going to have to use our app or RDM to change any address, mode, check any settings, things like that. And then last but not least, these units are protected a little bit better because they do have power and DMX filters. So if you're raining, elements, any sort of electric surge, these units are going to be protected. This video isn't going to go through how to IP test the unit. So if you're looking for how to IP test a OPS or any of our Proteus fixtures, that's going to be for another video. The first thing you're going to notice is the bare cables or the bare wire. We have our power in right here. Everything's labeled. And then we have the same thing with the DMX with the in and the out and the ground. Another thing you'll notice on our KL-PAR OPS is going to be the display. There is no display. So what you're going to use is RDM or our NFC app. So the first thing that we're going to do is remove this bracket that has the power and the data going through it. On the other end of this, there's going to be a PC board that pretty much just transfers the power and the data to the unit itself. And so what we're going to do is remove these 5 countersunk screws to remove the bracket. And here's the PC board that I was talking about. Here you can see the power goes in, comes out here, and then same thing with the data. The data comes in from the cable and goes to the board, which goes to the display of the unit. So we're going to go ahead and put this back. When we put the screws back, because it's an outdoor light and it does have a gasket, we want to make sure that we close the bracket as evenly as possible. So what we're going to do is slowly tighten each screw one by one, but not fully tighten it. And then once we made the round, then we can go ahead and tighten them all down to make sure that there's no leaking coming out. The next thing we're going to do is remove the back part of this. We're going to use our 3mm attachment and remove the 4 screws. So now that we have the back open, there's a couple of things that we could check out. The first thing being the filters. So right here we have our power filter and right here we have our DMX filter. So the next thing that we're going to check out is our display board. In this case, we don't have a display, so we could just call it like our controller board. You can see the connection for the DMX. Over here, we have the connection that goes to the driver. We have 2 fans in the unit, and we have our power in that comes from the power supply. Now we can go ahead and close the back. We want to make sure, just like the bracket, we close the back part as evenly as possible. So what we're going to do is just screw in the screws, make sure they're in, and then we can go back and tighten them up. The next thing I'm going to show you are how to get to the fans, which are going to be behind these little covers. Using your Phillips 2, there's going to be 4 screws that you're going to have to remove. So behind the cover, we have our fan, we have our heat sink behind it, and we have our wireless antenna. It's going to be mirrored exactly the same way in the other end, so I'm not going to open it, but just so you could get a good idea of how the layout is behind this. Okay, now that we got that, we go ahead and move on to the nose of the unit. So here we have a little latch. So if you have a gel frame, you go ahead and slide it in through there. So we're gonna work on taking off this nose cover, and it's gonna be 3mm 4 screws. So there's that. So you can see when we take out the bracket, there's no real gasket because right behind it is the sealed part. So we're gonna go ahead and remove these 8 screws again with the Phillips number 2. And then we have the glass behind it. I'm just gonna tilt it and kind of just shake it to get it out. And then we're gonna remove the reflector with the same Phillips 2 with the 4 screws. So now that we've taken out everything, you can see that we have our power supply, our driver, and our LED board. I'm not going to remove anything. I just want to show you what's going on the inside. But if you did have to work on something, we could remove this whole bracket together at once. And that's going to be with the 2 screws that are above the driver. And then there's going to be 4 screws that are located more inside. And then once we have that and everything's unplugged, we could go ahead and remove that altogether. And then you'll have access to the LED plate if necessary. Now, the first thing we're gonna put in is the reflector. We wanna make sure that we can see as much as the LED and it doesn't favor one side. So if you're looking into it, when you screw it in, it should kind of adjust itself, but we wanna make sure that it's not a little off-centered or anything like that. And then next is going to be the glass. Well, before we put this in, we want to make sure that we have no fingerprints or anything on the inside of it. So I'm just going to wipe it down real quick. Just make sure we get rid of any of the debris or the fingerprints that might have got on it. We're going to go ahead and put that in and then cover it up to make sure that it gets completely sealed. Since this is supposed to be sealed, we want to put it on just like we would put any other cover on top of a gasket. So I like to start with middle and then opposite sides of each other, and then it doesn't matter where you go from there. There are torque settings for each screw, especially the ones that are holding in a gasket or are supposed to be closing off a sealed compartment. We don't always have a torque wrench, and I don't assume that a lot of you will either. A good way to do it, or at least the way I like to do it, is seal it up with my drill or screw gun or whatever you want to call it. Since these are going to be a Phillips 2, I'd go back with my screwdriver and just give them like a little half a turn. If you're grunting in any time of tightening this, I think you're probably tightening it a little too much. So next we're going to go ahead and put our cover on. This does only go one way, so you could see that there's lips right here. And that's going to be on the side of the trigger thing, so you can put on the lens. Go ahead and put that on. And then we have our Fresnel lens right here. What we're going to do is want to make sure we feed it underneath this tab that's right here. Once we feed it under the tab completely, we go ahead and pull these 2 little triggers and push it in. And then that should sit in with the lens. So now that the unit is closed, the next thing that we want to do is check it with our IP tester. That's going to be in another video, just so I could be a little bit more in depth on how to close a unit correctly. Like always, I hope this helps, and make sure to check out Elation's forums.